gun drill goes through, it has a spiraling from the machining, and then inside, when people pull back their bolts on their ARs and they hear that roughness or feel that roughness, and they think that they need to drop oil in it to get rid of that, it's not true. It's the machining on the inside. Like if you buy a cheap buffer tube, you're gonna get cheap results. So like when I bought,
Are you talking about when you pull back to like actually load around? You're hearing that?
Yeah. So like when people slowly like pull back their bolt on their AR and they hear that like that is the lines on the inside of the buffer tube. So like one of my competition gun, for example, like on the inside, it doesn't have any single machining marks in it. They polished it out, they got it to within specs, and they coated it. So and then I run a JP silent buffer spring in there, so that thing is super silent. Like you can't hear the bolt at all when it's reciprocating, and you also cannot hear it when I pull it back. It's super smooth. Super happy with it.
Do you notice a difference whenever you're shooting?
100%.
Yeah.
It's like recoil was mitigated. It's so much smoother. It's I don't know, it's hard to describe it unless you shoot it. It's basically like the difference between driving like a standard Chevy Silverado and then you go and drive like a Denali.
Yeah.
Like loaded fully leather seats, AC seats, like the whole package. That's basically the biggest difference I can tell you from a shooter's perspective, going from a standard mil spec stuff to like aftermarket stuff.
Yeah.
Like hands down, I will always want people to do that or push people to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, we were just Kill was informing us on buffer tubes and what we should be running in our guns. But we're back, episode 4.
Yeah,
we're on episode 4. Episode 4. Yeah. Took a little break. Had a little, life happened. And we're back with another episode. We're going to be doing EDC, which is everyday carry, for anybody that doesn't know. I think we're going to kind of go over what we carry, what we think you should carry, like bare minimum to full essential, and kind of get a grasp or concept of, should you not? And if you should, what should you carry?
I think this is going to get quite controversial.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
You're either with it or you're not. And just because it's an EDC doesn't mean that it has to be gun related, to be honest with you. I mean,
that's true.
I think EDC could, what is, Jeff, what is it that Kennedy says? Phone, wallet, keys?
Yeah, well, phone, wallet, keys, and a gun.
Yeah, so, I mean, your EDC could be phone, wallet, keys, and a tourniquet. Phone, wallet, keys, and a
chapstick
SATCOM radio. I mean, literally, like, it doesn't have to be gun related, but usually when I hear EDC, I'm thinking a gun, a knife, something to protect yourself
at minimum.
But yeah, but Chiller, just I mean, break it down what you do, okay, every day, and then on the days where you might have a different situation. So if you're going to work every day, what's your EDC? And then like if you're going to go to a concert where it's a little harder to be wearing what you would wear versus going to the grocery store.
For legal purposes, I don't carry a gun to work. For realistic versions, what I would carry to work. My EDC is the same for every single thing that I do because I'm not one of those people that has like, I don't carry inside the waistband just because I've got love handles, I've got a gut. It don't work for me. I cannot carry appendix style. It's a far long dream for me. It's never going to happen, and I've come to terms with reality. And once you realize that, the second part of your life kind of starts. No, I carry so anybody that's known me will know that I hated Glock for years. In fact, when I came down to Texas and we went to the range, you might have heard me say like Glocks are shit. Like I hate them, blah, blah, blah. Well, recently I acquired 2 Glocks, both a 19 Gen 4 and a 19X, and I am obsessed with Glocks now. However, I am diehard loyal to Smith & Wesson M&Ps because out of those two, hands down, they're going to shoot no matter if you throw them in the mud, the water. Both of them are capable of shooting under the water. Like Grand Thumb did a freeze test online, and the M&P was actually the winning contender. So my EDC is my Glock 19. I have a +2 extended base tab on it.
This is like your general everyday, right? And this is not like grocery store or concert.
Yep. Everywhere I go, this is what I carry. I don't change it up. So I do have a truck gun that I keep in there, and that's my FN9CS.
Break that down for us people that don't know nomenclatures.
Oh shit. FN's the company. So
Caliber.
Fabrica National 9mm compact.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the S stands for because it's not single stacked. It's a double stack. So maybe secrete. I don't know. But
yeah. Anyway,
it's a 12-round capacity pistol. Yep. So that's the gun that I keep in my truck 24/7. It never leaves. So I carry another gun with me on my hip. I have a Safariland holster. I don't know the model off the top of my head, but it's not a level 2 or level 3, so it doesn't have a tactical hood over it. It's just a standard level locking retention. I carry a Glock 19 Gen 4 with night sights. I upgraded. I have an upgraded trigger shoe on it, so instead of the standard curved trigger shoe, I'm a flat trigger shoe guy. Flat triggers. And then I have a magazine extension base on the bottom for +2, so I'm capable of carrying 17 rounds. So I have the capacity of a Glock 17, but it is still considered a compact gun in a 19. So, and like my duty gun, or my shit hits the fan gun is my Glock 19X. So that's, and then I carry other things with me. So you're talking about like EDC. Every single day, I have a Smith & Wesson tactical knife in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I also carry a Streamlight little pocket flashlight with me because I use it a lot for work, but there's a lot of times outside of work that I use it. Like my pistol has also a Streamlight 7 TLR 7 Alpha tac light on the bottom of it. So if that ever fails, I have a backup light with it as well.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jeff, what's your like no circumstance, just going out with wife and kids, going out to the gas station?
So like I always carry in my pocket when I leave the house chapstick and eye drops, man. So like I'm a contact lens wearer. So dude, I have to have those two things, man. Like I don't know why I wear contacts, man. They bug the crap out of me, but I have to have those eye drops, man. Like I put them in like on the hour, every hour.
Yeah.
Wallet, obviously, right?
And sorry, I'm still hung up on the chapstick and the eye drops. Like this dude comes rolling out, just as like I'm thinking like he's gonna be like, yeah, carry a Sig 320. Nope, chapstick.
No. Dude, I wish I could carry that 320, man, but it's a little big, man. But yeah. I actually have a M&P Shield, and I think I bought that. Man, you guys knew when I bought that, like 5-6 years ago. And I was kind of new into the EDC space, you know. I was just like, oh, I just want a gun that I can conceal. You know, I just got my concealed. And I bought that kind of unknowing that you buy that and that's all that you get and that's all you can do to it. You know, like there's no attachments. There's no, because I got the first gen. So it was like before the pick rail underneath.
Yeah.
And so literally, I think the only thing you can do to that is I think Lone Wolf Arms has a barrel swap that you can do, so you can get like a threaded barrel, and I think that's
you can't change sights on it.
I mean, is it worth it though? Like on that, you know?
No, I mean, I have the exact same one you do in 9mm, and dude, there's no reason to change.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, that gun's plenty capable, man. Like, I'm just kind of in the market for something else. I'm actually gonna get a Glock 43. So that's where I'm going. I mean, dude, Kale, come on, man. Like the SIG, the P365X comp, dude, that thing is so sick, man.
Dude, but that's a dirty gun, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's so nasty. But I got to think about it like this, dude. The 43X is other than the 19, has the highest aftermarket availability than any other gun on the market. Like, you have to think about that when you're purchasing a gun. Now, like, I'll never jump blind. Like, when I bought my SIG, completely blind into that. I saw a buddy that had one. I was like, dude, I got to have one of those. And so I bought it, not knowing that the only red dot that fits that footprint is the most expensive red dot other than a Trigicon RMR, dude. It's the Loophole Delta Point Pro. That's the next, that's the footprint. And so SIG cut theirs to match that, but those are still like $400. You know, it's like, man, I really wanted like a Holosun or something, you know, like something a lot.
Yeah, let me budget friendly this gun real quick.
Some budget friendly stuff. I didn't really know that I was buying a not real budget friendly gun. But I mean, like, out of the box though, it's a great shooter, man. But I don't carry that. So yeah, I carry that Smith & Wesson, that Shield. It's great, man. It's capable. It's simple. Like, you don't have to like really overcomplicate. I think that's what a lot of people do. We were just talking about this, Jordan, where people overcomplicate their EDC, right? They're like, oh, I got this like grip module it's patterned out, and like, I mean, these guns look sweet, dude. They really do, man. Like, different slides, you know, threaded barrels. It's like, are you carrying that thing around to like show to people? You know, like, hey, check this out, dude. You know. So I mean, I get it. It's cool, man. But man, I just like it. It's simple. That Shield is, dude. The profile on it's so thin. It's so nice. It conceals really well. I'm actually in the same dilemma that Kale's in, man. Like, I have like a dad bod, so I don't enjoy appendix carrying, but I can. The only time it bugs me is when I sit down, right? I'm just kind of like, oh, yeah,
dude,
gotta poop there, man. You know. But
dude, I like, even like, I have a problem. Like, if I'm carrying and I get in my truck and I sit down, dude, I'm to the point where I've got to like take it out before I even get in the truck to like put it back where it's supposed to be.
I would take it out.
I don't understand how guys appendix carry.
Like, unless you're like 160 pounds, bro, like skin and bones, I don't see how you do it.
Dude, they hike comfortably. You have to hike your pants up.
I get that, and I understand like the concept, but like, unless you're chiseled like a Greek god and you can withstand that,
none of us.
It's just like, let's be realistic. That's not us. So it's I really don't understand.
Kale, dude, I found the ticket, man. Like, look up N8 Tactical's belly band, dude. It's the best thing I've ever bought, man. Like,
dude,
that just sounds so stupid.
They sound, dude. I should have my wife bring it down here, dude. That thing is so legit because it like folds over your midsection. It's just got a sleeve for your pistol, right? So you could like chamber one, set it down in there. Yeah, and it velcros to right by your pistol, and then it like crosses across, and then velcros again. And there's a on the other side of your body, there's a mag, like a little mag sleeve. So you stick a mag, so you have an extra mag and a gun concealed under your t-shirt, dude. I wear shorts and flip flops, dude. Like, carrying a pistol on me, dude. And I crap you not. I will wear a tank top, shorts, flip flops, dude. Low key, nobody knows.
Yeah.
It also acts like a waist trimmer.
Yeah, and it makes me look pretty slim. So
yeah, so there's that.
Well,
hold on. If you're wearing a tight fitted shirt, can you tell?
Nah, man. So like the way it sits, like if you wear it the right way, the way it sits is it comes off of like your chest, and then you have that pocket right between like your chest and your waist, where like your shirt will overhang. It's supposed to sit right in that pocket, and so
Interesting.
it's like, man, I should have my wife bring it down. I'll put it on so you can see it. Like you can't tell at all. Like there's no, it doesn't print, man. Like, I mean, if you're wearing like a tighter shirt, like I've worn like tighter shirts with it, and you can kind of tell, but like I can kind of hide it. I like know where to hide it.
Like
it just
like
makes,
a shirt like
just
this.
makes the. Oh yeah, you can hide it in that easy.
Oh, that's money, dude.
Easy. And the thing I like about it is like the band part. So you have like one layer of band that's over your skin, right? And then there's another layer of band when you pull it and tighten it over. That it like, so then you have like a little sleeve, a slot right there. I'll stick my knife in that, man. Like, so it's like really up on my waist. All I carry in my hands is my wallet and phone or whatever, you know. But
yeah, I don't like trash in my pockets, dude. I wear a lot of Sika shorts, and I have the 10-inch seams, and then I have a pair. What's the other one? Is it 10? Is it 8 or 7?
8. It's 8, I think.
8. So I have a pair of 8s, dude. And if I put just like my wallet, bro, is literally like this thin. So imagine that, and then a key fob, and then your freaking cell phone, dude. I literally imprints, and it's like stuck to my leg, and I don't have big old tree trunk legs, bro. Yeah, dude, like that. Like, if I sit down in the truck, I got stuff falling out of my pockets.
Just carrying around an iPad,
dude. So it would be nice, bro. It'd be nice to have something that was like that thing I sent you on Instagram. I don't know that I'd ever wear a freaking fanny pack,
dude. Right? That's the.
I don't know that I'd ever do that. Dude, I don't know.
Told you about that.
Regardless what you want to call it, what the name of it is, it's a freaking fanny pack, and I don't know that I could ever do a fanny pack,
dude.
Schiller, could you wear a fanny pack?
I got too much pride. I can't do it, man.
Dude, it's like a crossbody sling / fanny pack. Dude, it's made by Eberly stock, man. Like, it's not gay dudes that made this.
No, yeah. I mean, like, dude, it literally, like, the concept of this thing is so kick ass. So kick ass. I mean, it's got a tourniquet holder. It's got a place to put your concealed. It's got a place to put your chapstick and your eye drops. It's got a place for your car keys. Like this, if this thing is Schiller is like that big, and it can fit everything you would normally carry in your pockets plus some.
The Sour Patch Kids.
And I'm like, dang, can I fanny pack the thing to the side? Could I rock it like that, or even in the back? You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna stick to my Safari Land and yeah.
Dude, check this out though, man. Like I was literally, dude, that thing was in the cart, man. I was ready to buy it. If you guys, dude, are you guys on Expert Voice or like one of those like GovX or something?
I'm on GovX. Well,
yeah, so
I rarely go on it, but I usually do Tax Swap.
Yeah, dude. So like, one is Expert Voice. If you get on that, send them your GDT14.
I don't think I've ever heard of that,
dude. So Eberly stock is one of the people that are on there. So if you ever think you want to buy anything Eberly stock, it's 40% off whatever the ticket price is. So like that Bando bag is what, $50? Yeah, it's $50, right? On Expert Voice, it's like $28. So,
damn.
Use the code Jeff15 at checkout to get your first 15% off.
Yeah, so here's the kicker: you got to pay Jeff if the item's $100 and you're getting $40 off. You got to send Jeff 20, and then you'll get it for you'll get it for $60. Okay,
Jeff's plugging over here.
No, dude, it's like hey, you have to type it in your search bar. It's Venmo at Jeff Nag. Send $10, and I'll get you the discount, buddy.
Yeah, just put your address in there, and I'll make sure it gets to you.
I need the security code on the back of your card. No big deal.
100% satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back.
Yeah,
dude. Oh wait, all right, dude. I lost my thought. It's back. All right. The Bando bag, right? So I watched this video. This guy's talking about it, and he's like, honestly, man, he's like, the fanny pack thing is in right now, you know. And he's like, I swear to you, if I see any dude in any setting, grocery store, be it mall, theater, wherever, right? if I see a tactical fanny pack, I'm 100% assuming that guy is carrying a gun. And I guarantee that anybody else that's out there to do harm is going to target you first. And I was like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I won't get a fanny pack, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Cause just because like it used to be a thing and now it's not a thing. So if somebody was, I'd be like, okay, dude, there's something either wrong with this guy or he's carrying.
Can you knock it though, man? Like, I mean, if you think about it, like freeing up your pockets, like you get in the truck, right? You just unbuckle, set it on the thing, you know, when you go in, it's a good concept, man. I just don't know if I could really execute it the right way, you know?
Yeah. So question for both of you, because I'm like, dude, I'm 100% guilty of not doing this 24/7. Like I've become very laxed unless it's like certain circumstances. Do you carry a gun everywhere you go?
Absolutely.
I do now, yes.
You do now, or you do not?
I do now. I do. Like,
okay.
I used to not, man, honestly, just because the comfort level, right? Like the first holster that I got was an appendix holster. And so for like a while, I was like, dude, I don't know how dudes do this, man. I actually think one of the first guys I saw appendix carrying and thinking that it was cool was Tank. Like he took a picture in his truck or something. He had like, you know, lifted up his shirt or whatever, and he was like carrying it, had like the mag pouch on the side with the pistol, you know, appendix. And I was like, dude, that's cool, man. So I got it, realized that I couldn't wear it like that, you know? And so I was just like, because it was just uncomfortable. I mean, I could make it work. I could sit in the truck. I could do whatever. But it wasn't comfortable for me, man. Like I was like, dude, I just don't like it. Like I didn't like the feeling of it right there, you know? So then I figured out, I was like, okay, well, I can, before I get in the truck, I can hike my pants up, right? And then like sit down, and then it would just sit like a little higher, like kind of belly button versus waistline.
But see, this is where I have the problem with appendix carrying while you're in a vehicle. Would you not just rather have it easier accessible to you? Like, I feel like if I'm coming from here and I've got a steering wheel in front of me, I'd rather be coming from here. Does that make sense?
Oh, dude, in the truck, dude, the sucker's on the console, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, boy,
if you're gonna appendix carry, like, there's no point,
dude. It's for walking around
once you get in the vehicle.
Yeah, no.
So why wouldn't you want to like always have it where you're just comfortable?
Yeah, it's true, man.
You know what I mean?
That's why I carry outside the waistband on my right side of my hip.
Okay, so you carry outside of the waistband on your right side. How difficult is that to put your seatbelt on?
I do what Jeff does. I've got a secret cubby hole on the bottom right of my vehicle that I throw my Glock in when I get in.
So you have to take everything off, just like if you were appendix carrying.
I mean, I've driven with it on my side of my hip, and it doesn't get in the way of my seatbelt. Like, really, I think the only thing that really does get in the way now is my extended base pad that I put on the bottom of my mag. But it's not like
so walk me through hip carrying while you're buckled into your truck, about to get out of your truck. How does that happen?
Well, I just hit the release on my seatbelt and get the hell out of the truck.
So you put your gun on in public?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's no other
not
way.
Really. Yeah. No, before I leave, like I'll reach down and like I usually do a press check to make sure like my gun is like fully seated with the round, and then I'll literally just put it in my holster and then I'll get out of my truck. And most of the time for like the state of Minnesota, we are a permit to carry state. We're not a concealed carry state, so we don't have to conceal and carry. So like I am a permit to carry instructor, so I can teach people to get instructed to get their license. So like I know all the rules and I teach them. And one of the things that we can honestly do here in Minnesota is I kid you not, we could literally strap an AR-15 across our chest fully loaded and walk around town. It's legal.
Yeah.
Like that's technically permit to carry. because it just says a weapon. It doesn't say what type of weapon. But I'm not gonna be that jackass that does that. So like when I go out in the summertime, like my shirts are a little bit baggier, and I'll just throw my shirt over it. Like, does it print a little bit? Yeah, a little bit, but it doesn't bug me because I live in a rural area and there's a lot of people within my area that have the same beliefs as me and also like carry the same as I do. And like in the wintertime, I have jackets and I have vests that I wear that are permit to carry jackets and vests or concealed carry jackets. Yeah. So they have pockets on the inside for extra magazines, and you could put 2 pistols in there. And it's very
Who do you think you are, John Wick?
Something like that. I'm trying to. That's also why I carry a pen or a pencil with me. No, I have this mentality, and some people might call it me like an extremist, but I'm not. Is like Jeff said, like if you saw a guy with a tactical fanny pack, like you probably think like he's carrying, or I would think that he was carrying too. And some people say like that makes you out to be like a victim, or that person's going to go after you. But if I put my mindset in the mentality of a criminal, if I knew somebody had a gun, I'm not going after that guy first. I'm not going after that guy. That guy's going to be able to defend themselves. And so I'm looking for the person that I know for sure is not going to be able to defend themselves, which is, for lack of better words, your X generation or whatever, the Z generation kids nowadays that are wearing these sweatpants with flip flops and hats barely on their head. Like, yeah, but Jeff has the belly band. He's good.
But you don't know that. You don't know that he has the belly band.
Well, I can tell you some of the kids I've seen, I'm like, dude, you're screwed. Like, some firefight happens, you're heading towards the exit, and I'm going the opposite
Jeff's
direction.
Gonna be hauling ass with his chacos on.
No, I mean, like, I do open carry. Like, I'll have my shirt, especially in the summer, because I just sweat so bad, and I don't want sweat dripping on my gun and like getting in my holster and making all gunk and dirtied up. So I just have my shirt tucked in a little bit on the side. But like my holster is almost fully conceals my pistol, except for obviously the handle. So yes, it's clear that I'm carrying, but it's not like out there for people to know. Like I have seen people out in town that, I kid you not, wear the gunslinger belt, have like the 6-shooter in there with the bandolier bullets across the waistband. Like it's ridiculous. But for me, it's like, I'm not out there I'm not John Wick. I'm not a sheriff. I'm not an operator. I'm just carrying, so I'm not going to be a victim. That's all I'm doing.
That's understandable.
There's some people here that when they see a firearm on someone's hip, they absolutely lose their mind. They freak out. And it's like,
it's just where you live.
It is where I live, 100%.
So Jeff, your phone, wallet, keys, chapstick, eye drops, and a pistol,
and a belly band.
Well, in the belly band recently. Well, honestly, man, like I said, knock it, man. But that thing got me carrying every day. You know, like.
No. I'm just trying to figure out what your EDC consists of. Those things.
Knife. That's what I forgot.
And a knife. Yeah. Schiller, your knife, pistol, gun, wallet, phone, keys.
Yep, and a pocket flashlight.
A pocket flashlight. Okay,
dude. So Kale, I used to do the flashlight real quick. Sorry, I used to do the flashlight, man, but I felt like I was carrying it for like no reason sometimes. You know, like it was just something that I didn't find practical. And
yeah,
and I mean, it was that they're good to have, but essentially where I'd like to get with my EDC, like when I get the Glock 43X, is just running the tack light on that. I mean, obviously, if you have to like look at something in your rig, you're not going to pull your pistol out and just, what is that? But, you're gonna,
yep.
But I mean, like,
ball joint went out again.
Time to shoot her up, buddy.
He's like changing a tire with his pistol.
Like I like my flashlight's a Phoenix PD4DR, so it's like, dude, it's not huge, but it's not. It's a burden in your pocket, If I had a fanny pack, dude, all day, maybe, but in the pockets, dude, no way, man. Like, so I actually want to get one of those like Streamlight like pocket pens, like the size of a a actual pen, you know.
That's what I have. And the
butt
reason
clip.
I carry it, the first reason I started to carry it is like when I got into gunsmithing, I have to look a lot in like chambers and small areas. So
Oh
like I
yeah,
needed a
yeah.
pocket flashlight to like fit in my shirt pocket or my pants, and it just stuck with me. And
Right.
then now that I work in a machine shop, I'm in some dark areas, so I have to look inside machines, look inside parts and things like that. So it really helps me out. But the other thing, like I teach my students, is like if you're not like Jeff, for instance, like you have that shield, right? And you said it's a first gen. So there are some people out there that carry like Glock Gen 1s and 2s. They didn't have Picatinny rails on them, so they don't have the capability of attaching a tack light. So what I tell people is, if you are one of those people that carries a pistol like that, then it is something that I would look into carrying the Streamlight pen size lights in your pocket if you can't or don't want to update your EDC pistol. If you shoot well with it, if it's comfortable, you've had it forever, just get that. But the one thing I teach them is, if you're going to use it, don't put it underneath the pistol like this when you're using it, because your assailant, your threat in front of you, sees a light. What's the one thing they're going to start shooting at? The light. So I tell them, if you got a light, you need to teach yourself that if you're going to use a light, you need to get away from your body and up top above your head. Because if they start shooting at your head, they might hit your support hand, but you still have the pistol in your right hand and you can still use it. So for me, though, I use a tack light on my pistol. And for those that are listening, if you get a tack light on your pistol, yes, you're going to have to get a specific holster. Some people go out there and they'll buy the holster, they'll buy the gun, and then they get the tack light, and then they realize, they're like, well, it doesn't fit in my holster. It's like, well, yeah, it's not meant
supposed to.
There's no room in there for that tack light now. So you need to buy a specific holster for that tack light. And a lot of holster companies have come around. I remember back when we got out of the Marine Corps back in 2015, man, like the holster market really wasn't all that good for tack lights. Like you had to get it sent off and get it molded custom, or you had to like contact the tack light company and they would then hook you up with a holster company that they're affiliated now. Alien Gear, Safariland, Dara, all these big name companies, Blackhawk, they all have options you can buy online and select for your tack light of what you're running on what gun. It's quite incredible what they're doing for the firearm industry. But
dude, the Omnivore,
we need to know,
goes by the light.
Yeah, the Omnivore,
not the gun.
Yeah, and the Omnivore was like the first holster that came out, and I remember when that hit the market, that was a big deal, because you could put any light in there, any gun, and it would fit, and it was snug. The first Omnivores, you had to get the Picatinny rail attachment, so you couldn't add a tack light. It was meant for like you could add different multiple guns. You just had to have the pick rail attachment to put the gun in, which I thought was a very cool concept. But at the same time, I'm like, well, where's my tack light gonna go?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so it was a cool thing that they did, but then they changed their mind real quick. They're like, well, this isn't gonna work. So
yeah, well, I think mine's like it's made to fit a TLR1. And you can put any gun, but it has to be a TLR1,
which is a good light. It's just really big.
So it just seats basically off of your life.
Surefire, isn't like.
Well, I don't have a Surefire X300.
Dude, those things are massive.
I'd love to have one, but
yeah,
dude, they are.
Too,
but
man.
I have a TLR7 Streamlight.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
I guess that's right.
Super small. It's like this big, and it fits flush with the end of my barrel. So,
dude, what's your take on Olight, man? Real quick.
Olights are really solid. You know, when I got into gunsmithing, I just heard about them because the only two light companies I knew about was Surefire and Streamlight. Then Olight hit the market, and they were more budget friendly at the time. I don't know what they are now. I haven't checked prices, but
they still are. Yeah.
Yeah. So Olight's really, really solid. And there's a lot of companies that have actually stepped up. Like Surefire was the leading tack light company for a long time. And suppressors too. Like they dominated the market along with Colt, with like AR market. But then obviously people started adapting and finding out new technology that they could build things for cheaper and sell them for a lot more affordable. And Olight was one of those companies. And I had a few of my students that brought in some Olight tactile light mounts and even like their pen lights. And I was really shocked with the quality, and also with like the just a standard 500 lumen was bright. Like on my Jackal, I have a Surefire Scout light, but the new lights that are coming out nowadays are twice as less, but performing just as much as the Surefires. But I think the reigning champ now for tack lights in that rifle world right now is Mod Light, but they're like, I think they're like $400 or $500, so they're pretty expensive.
The one thing that I give Olight over all the other light companies is the mag connection for recharging the battery.
Yeah,
like in my Streamlight, I like in my belt, I have extra batteries, dude, and they're like the hardest batteries to find.
Yeah,
those like little CR 1632s or whatever. Like you gotta just. Or no, they're not even that. What are they?
The CR 2032s.
They're 2032, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, dude. Well, no, it's not. They're not like the flat disc ones. They're like the small.
Oh, you're thinking of
chubby...
the standards. Yeah, you're thinking of the CR1s and the CR2s.
Yeah, like a those CR2. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, dude, those are chubby and they're expensive.
Dude, for one of them, it's like the price of like a pack of AA's, and you're like, golly, bud.
Yeah, like $18.
Dude,
yeah, so ridiculous. Like Surefire came out with like the dual feed process, so it uses the same size as like a CR2, but they come with a rechargeable station, so you can get multiple use out of them. Very expensive, but if you're one of those guys that is consistently using their attack light, it is an option out there for you instead of replacing for batteries. But honestly, dude, some of these tack lights, like I think Surefire is good for up to like 10,000 hours. If you got a flashlight on for 10,000 hours, I don't know if you work in a mine or if you're clearing out rooms every day, but damn, dude.
Yeah, like, you should be expunging that.
You should be an ambassador for that company, or at least a test product, because that's ridiculous.
Like, dude, honestly, think about it like this. You put a tack light on your pistol. Dude, I am so guilty of this, man. Like, put a tack light on there. Haven't used it once, dude. Like, I'll sit in my room and draw around. I'll just run like little like dry fire drills. Just boom, pull it out. Tack light, back in the holster. And then that's it, dude. Like, I've never went and shot in the dark, dude. I've never, because you get all these people on like YouTube that are just out there just dumping mags like in the dark with their tack light on. It's like, for one, it's white light, you're probably gonna die, but and two, like I'm not going out in the middle of the night to go just dump rounds with a tack light on. Like, I mean, it'd be fine. I probably would do it. I might do it this summer now that I think about it, but no, dude.
He didn't have plans. Now he does.
Yeah, now I'm like, well, dude, you got to do it now, But it's, I haven't even used it. Like, I got it more for like the aesthetic and having it if I need it, than needing it and not having,
We haven't heard. We need to hear, Jordan. What would your ideal EDC, or what is your current EDC right now?
Well, like I said, man, I've gotten pretty relaxed on carrying every day. It's like my pistol basically sits in my truck, but I'm also in my truck a lot more than probably both of y'all.
Yeah, you're constantly
that's your
on the
office,
road, dude.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, I mean, I got the Shield, the first gen, and 9mm, and it literally sits in my center console, which is nice because on the GMCs that you can lock them. Is that going to stop somebody from trying to get your shit? No. But yeah, I phone, wallet, keys. I used to carry a knife. The times that I need a knife out of 365 days is probably 12. So I stopped carrying a knife. I also got this weird vibe when people were carrying knives, and I was just like, man, I just don't want to look like I'm Ricky Recon when I'm not. And
Well, you
I
don't
don't
have to
know,
carry
man.
a
It's
damn.
just
You don't have to carry a damn K-bar with you.
I'm grumbling over here. What do you mean, man? Like,
no,
knives are
I've
so
got a
low key now.
toolbox,
They're so low key,
but I've got
man.
a toolbox on my truck with everything that I could ever need, and I'm in my truck. Unless I'm at my house, everything is there, and my knife is
Wait,
here.
don't hurt me. Let me get in my toolbox.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna roll up on me in my truck, I've got my pistol.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I don't know.
literally,
I carry a
know.
knife for
I
three
just
reasons. Because there's three things that I cut with my knife: bitches, stitches, and cake. So I constantly have a knife on me at all times.
Oh,
yeah. So I just thought I don't carry a knife anymore, man. I used to like as soon as I was out of the Marine Corps, it was probably 2 or 3 years straight that I carried a knife, and not anymore. I just don't. Like I said, it's just extra crap that I don't need. Am I gonna need it probably one day? Yeah, but I've gotten more like practical with my shit. Like I used to be like, oh, dude, I need a seatbelt cutter on this knife, and I need a freaking Gerber, everything. And I'm like, dude, when do I use that shit? Never. Will I need it one day? Probably, and I won't have it. But hey, if it's my time to go and I can't cut myself out of the seatbelt, see ya.
Sticks, baby, I'm out.
Right, yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, phone, wallet, keys. That's it, man. And there's that like the places that we go that like Jason and I go to, like the track, or like I can't carry it to a school. So it's like, what's the point, man? Like we really don't go anywhere where I'm gonna need it. If that makes sense.
And I get that, because actually for a while there I got really relaxed like that, where I wasn't carrying, and I don't know, I just, with all the things that happen within this world is full of evil, pure evil, every single day, dude.
No, for sure, yeah.
You could come across somebody nowadays that could be the most humble and nice person with an appearance, but they're after you in some way, shape, or form. They want something that you have. So like I just put myself in this mindset that I was like, I'm not going to be a victim. Like, yeah, go ahead and make fun of me because I'm carrying a pistol. Like that's the I was actually watching a video the other day on a gentleman. I can't recall his name. My buddy sent it to me. But he was talking about how our founding fathers nowadays would be considered extremists. And that totally blew my mind. Because you think about it, the government nowadays is trying to basically strip everybody of their rights, their guns, because they don't want us to have certain things. And that's exactly what happened in the early 1700s with England. And people always like, oh, when you start talking about that, they're like, times have changed. We're human beings. We talk about things. Well, it's like, look at what happened to Ukraine. A neighboring country to Russia was just randomly one day, all of a sudden, was invaded. And what did the United States government do? Instantly started buying up all of arsenals within the United States, AR-15s, M16s, and sent it over to Ukraine to help them defend themselves. So why does that make sense over there, but it doesn't make sense here? I understand we live in a relaxed mindset. Yes, we have a very comfortable living over here. However,
I actually heard something different, that it was all of our old military weapons.
Regardless, even if it's M16A1s, A2s, or whatever.
Yeah, it was to help the civilian people over there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's regardless.
But that's very, very frowned upon here if we were to be attacked.
Yeah. So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like right now, I'm training to do the Murph. Like I'm doing the Murph on Monday. I probably am going to fail miserably because I am not that great of shape. But people look at me weird here when I go out for a run in my plate carrier. They're like, "This guy's crazy. He's running in a plate carrier," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm just preparing, or I'd like to stay in the mentality of honing in on the skills that the Marine Corps taught me." And it's the same thing that I apply to, like, and I teach my students and tell them with permit to carry, like, does this make you a gunslinger? Does this make you a gunfighter, an operator? No. But Does it give you and afford you the opportunity to defend yourself, your loved ones, family, an innocent bystander? Absolutely. Like, you could come out a hero from it for sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, would you rather have it and not need it, or need it and not have it? And I will always carry a gun with me everywhere I go. I don't care if it's, obviously I won't carry into places that, like schools, government buildings, things like that, but other places I will carry, because until I'm told to leave because I have a pistol, I'm gonna exercise my Second Amendment right to defend myself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we live in a world where people are like constantly scared of firearms because of all the things that are happening within the world. It's just nuts, man.
The problem there, and this is gonna it's gonna piss a lot of people off, but the problem there with people being afraid of firearms, number one, they probably never shot one.
Correct.
2, there's no understanding.
Correct.
Like, how am I to judge you on something that I haven't done or understand? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
So
and
it's like,
that's
how is that? How can people be so judgmental on instances that have happened with firearms, but yet they've never shot, and they don't know the understanding of what that gun is actually capable of doing other than killing?
right. Well, because a lot of that is fed by the media, feeding people's minds and telling them like these AR-15s, these guns that are black and they're scary. When they don't even look at the calibers, bro. Like a 223 is the size of a pea, the bullet. It literally is that size. I have a 28 Nosler that shoots 3,200 feet per second that could literally probably blow out the chest cavity of a human being. Nobody talks about it.
No.
Nobody talks about
because it's not an AR-15.
Because it's not an AR-15. So I agree with you. A lot of people don't grow up with that, with firearms within their family like we used to. They used to teach gun safety in school, and that was a big part of the reason why there really wasn't a lot of crime or these, I hate to say it, but these shootings that have been going around. And a lot of people are mentally unstable, and they're trying to pass these like registered guns and stuff. Like, that's not going to stop somebody. It's not. You're making it difficult for the law-abiding citizen to maintain their firearm.
Man, if there's a will, there's a way. That's all that it comes down to.
100%.
If I, for whatever reason, flew off the deep end, bro, and my shit was registered right now, just like it is, I can still go do whatever all these people are doing that are committing all these murders, bro. Like, literally still. What is that stopping anybody? Just because my shit's registered?
Or like waiting periods. You got to wait 3 days before you pick up your pistol. Okay. Yeah. That person's just going to delay their shit 3 days later.
Yeah, they still have the plan in place.
Yeah.
So it makes Washington State just did that. It's a 10-day waiting period. It's called the cool down period. And so it's so like Tommy can't get pissed at Tammy and go buy a shotgun and go blow her head off that day, you know? Like, he's going to have to wait 10 days.
What's to say it won't happen in 10 days later?
Yeah. But they're saying there's a cool down period that, like, if it was to happen, then, and so, dude, that's legit anything, dude. Long guns, shotguns, anything. You go to the store, they can't charge you for it until you come back clear. 10-day mandatory waiting period, Washington State.
Oof. I'd be packing on my bags and heading somewhere else.
You go tell that to all the people that lost people in 9/11, bro, that there's a 10-day waiting period for guns. Yeah. You don't need a gun to kill somebody.
Can't buy ARs. Dude. Can't do that.
Yeah, what? But they didn't even need it. They freaking flew planes into our buildings.
You cannot.
What is that going to stop anybody?
Sell ARs or any AR parts in the state of Washington.
I told you this, Schiller. Remember I was telling you because
I heard a little bit about it, but what about the people that already owned them?
Oh no, they're not illegal. Like, it's not illegal to own them. You just can't buy them anymore.
What? So
they have it so locked up, man, that even if the next person that got elected as governor wanted to reverse it, it's gonna be illegal for so long that it's not even worth it, man. Like they got it so locked up, bro. Like literally, like you, dude, because it started with the 10-round mag thing, right? That no more 30-round mags,
Yeah.
and the 10-round mag thing didn't stay at ARs. Dude, I can't go buy a Glock 19 with a 15-round mag. It has to be Washington compliant with a 10-round mag.
Hold on. What is this? What is the thought process here? Because all I gotta do is train myself. Like if I'm a criminal, all I gotta do is train myself how to freaking
reload faster,
change mags,
dude.
faster.
Dude, it does not make sense. You know, I tell guys this argument all the time. Dude, this is such a sidebar, man, but this is so good. Like an AR can't buy them. Yeah, the AR platform used to not be able to buy them, whatever, 10 rounds, whatever. You know, if you have like an M4 build, right? Like anything, like any kind of M4 build, 30-round mag, right? You got to take 30 aimed shots, right? Have I told you guys this? To shoot 30 people, right?
Yeah.
Like if I go into a crowd, right, anywhere at a concert, whatever festival, whatever, and I just start dumping rounds, right, 30 of them. If you were perfectly lucky, you'd hit 30 people. You know, that's illegal. Like you can't. And man, I think before the ban on ARs in Washington State, the waiting period was up to like a month, dude, to get one, and they scrubbed you, man. Like, but like they came with the 10-round mag thing or whatever, and I was like, all right, so let's look at like an AR shotgun with 10 rounds with double aught buck, you know?
Dude,
like double buck has
what,
damage. Like eight BBs in it, and the BBs are no joke, dude. Like those suckers are like this big, you know?
Yeah,
you're doing a lot of damage.
8 of those suckers, and I got 10 of those loaded up. That's 80 projectiles that you can dump under 5 seconds. Under 5 seconds, you could dump 10 shells out of that gun. In AR, find me somebody shooting 30 rounds under 5 seconds, dude. Like I can pull the trigger 30 times in 5 seconds. But that shotgun's legal.
Problem too,
shotgun's legal. AR's not.
The problem also relies within we are electing these mindless leaders that know nothing about these firearms. Mindless, just puppets to go in and say, hey, you don't like ARs. Make ARs, make pistols that are over 10 round capacity look bad. Yep. They just go, okay. There is that video of that ATF weapons master who had a hard time disassembling and taking the slide off of a Glock frame. By far the easiest gun to disassemble in the world. I can disassemble a Glock in less than 2 seconds. This dude took at least 30 seconds to take that off. Grand Thumb did a video. He disassembled 9 Glocks before he got... And he ran out of Glocks before the guy even finished. He's like, I'm out of Glocks. That's the people that are in charge of making rules for society that don't have a damn clue. Now, if that guy was like, hey, I was a Delta Force operator, I did this many combat tours, or hey, I worked for the CIA and I was an operator, like, yes, I'm a true, or I'm a gunsmith, I'm a certified weapons master, and took that thing off in 2 seconds, probably wouldn't have made news. Probably been like, that guy's a legit weapons master. But we have these idiots that are trying to, and people that are going to the Congress meetings and these gatherings, and they're still calling magazine clips, and they're saying that we can disperse a 30 magazine double barrel clip, whatever, assault weapon in less than half a second. It's like, you show me right now what gun can shoot 30 rounds in half a second other than like an A10 Warhog or whatever. Yeah. Like, you show me right now who can do that, because nobody can do that.
No.
So that's what truly upsets me when I've had people ask me, up here, they're like, well, what's the need for an AR-15? It's like, I don't need a need. It's a want. Like, the government has it, I'm going to have it. That's my problem. The government tells me not to buy one, I buy 2 of them.
Why is it okay for police to carry that in their vehicle every day, but we can't?
Well, Jordan, don't you know they're the people that are protecting your life. You don't need a gun.
Yeah, you're right.
But the typical response time for police is 10 minutes.
Until there's a 1-to-1 ratio of a police force to community, that'll like I know you're not with that, but that argument is never valid.
No. And it never will
until
be.
There's a cop that lives next door to me in every other house. Yeah, no.
Let's not forget, our country was founded with guns, people. Like, we were told, hey, you have to pay tax on this because we just want you to, and also you can't have your firearms. Well, I like to use that firearm to go hunting and provide for my family. Too damn bad. And we're like, yeah, we ain't having that anymore. So we literally started a war over firearms and won it for our country, for our independence. And people are telling, oh, that only applied for that generation of weapons. Well, guess what? Technology grows. It still is applicable.
So when we go to completely green vehicles, I'm just going to tell them no.
Yeah.
Right?
Be like, no, you wrote that in now. That doesn't apply to 60 years ago with my Chevy C10 pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. People need to understand that guns are not going to go away. However, what needs to go up is education on firearms. Even if you are anti-gun, go to a class. Just go to a class. Go shoot a gun. I have actually brought people out, friend groups they weren't anti-gun, but they didn't really care for guns. They started shooting guns with me, and the first shot they took, they just the light in their eyes, the excitement in their eyes were like, this is incredible. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. But this also is a tool to protect yourself. So you need to be careful. And then after teaching them these things, they were starting to talk, man, I'm gonna go out and get me a permit to carry. I'm gonna go out and get me a Glock. It's like, yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to start educating the people.
Dude,
and it starts there.
You gotta have that education piece, man. I'll vote for that every day, man. Like, you shouldn't have people that, I mean, and this is where it's tough, dude. I might catch some flack for this, but dude, if you haven't been to a training course, dude, I don't think you should be able to buy a firearm, man. Like, I've seen people in the gun store, dude, literally, what does this do? You know, like straight down, you know, like I swear to you, man, I was in the gun store. It
comes out of that little hole right there,
dude. And
you're telling me this barrel's got rifling?
Yeah, he's like, hey, I want to buy like a shotgun. Like, he was looking for like a tac shotgun, you know. And the guy's like, okay, all right, cool, man. He hands him the shotgun over the counter, right? And the dude like grabs it, looks at it, like is turning around, like, because he's got his buddy behind him, flagging everybody in the store, right? And he's like, is this the one I should get? You know? And I was just like, and the guy behind the counter like grabbed him on his shoulder and was like, hey, man, like, chill out, dude. Like, and he's like, can you put the gun back down? Puts it back down on the counter. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get that one. He's like, no, not here. You're not. You know. He's like,
yeah.
He's like,
literally, dude.
Try the next door.
I shit you not. I had the same thing happen when I worked at a gun shop. I had a woman come in, and she just walked right up to the counter. And I said, hey, how's it going? And she's like, good. I'm looking to buy a pistol. I was like, all right, cool. What gun are you looking at? And she's like, I think it's the 365. I'm like, oh yeah, the SIG 365. And this was at the time when that was the only line that was out. They didn't have the Legion and the comps and stuff like they have now. It was just plain old 365. And they were very hard to get. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So I like cleared it for her, handed it to her, and she's like looking at it, and like she like just like Jeff, like turned around, looked at her husband, and was just like, yep, I think this is the one. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then she pulls out a piece of paper with a man's writing on it. I can clearly tell. And it said P365, 10 round capacity. It's this price. And she's like, yeah, is that the one? This is that one, right? And I said, did you write that? And she's like, no, my husband did. And I said, I'm not selling you this pistol. And she's like, why? And I said, because clearly your husband wrote that and told you to go buy that pistol for him. Did he not? And she's like, well, yeah, I'm buying the pistol for him. I said, I'm not selling you this firearm.
Yeah.
And
You have
she
no
got
idea who that guy
super
is.
upset.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, I will not sell you this pistol. And my manager came out and I told him the whole story, and he was like, yeah, get out of our shop. He's like, that's a straw purchase. And she didn't even have her permit to carry anyway. I was just like, you can't obtain this pistol. So sorry. Like, there's the door.
Yeah. So I believe in the knowledge piece, man. Like the training piece. That's a big one, man.
Like, I'm a firm believer that I believe everybody should be able to get a firearm. But I am a firm believer that not everybody should have a firearm.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference. There are some, just like you said, Jeff, there are some people in this world that I know have guns that have had zero training and don't practice. They don't go to the range and practice like tactical stuff, or they don't practice like ethical stuff. They just go out and they shoot from the hips. They're shooting sideways underneath their legs. They're posting that shit on Facebook. And I'm like, this is what the media is using as fuel for the fire.
Yeah, they
get
eat
people
that up,
rallied
man.
around why. Yeah, and like, we all love Call of Duty, but that's also a problem too. These younger kids go into frickin' shops and they're like, "Yo, bro, that gun right there, what is that? That's the blah 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 from Call of Duty." I'm like, yeah, that's an IWI Tavor. It's a 9mm. Yeah, the one on Call of Duty was 5.56. I'm like, cool. It also is available in 5.56. I don't have one here in the shop. And they're like, yeah, bro, can I see that? And I'm like, how old are you?
Yes.
And they're like, I'm 16. I'm like, absolutely not. You're not even supposed to be in the shop. Get out.
Yeah,
dude. When
that's a problem.
My dad gave me this old like 30-06, this Mauser action 30-06. Dude, it's sick, man. It's actually the same people. It's made by Gewehr or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're the one that did the. Is it Gewehr? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
The people that make the Car 98, I believe, right?
Correct. Well, yeah, Mauser made it. The Gewehr is a carbine model of it.
Yeah. So what I believe it was, well, it was a Gewehr, but then I forget what they were chambered in, man. And Mauser bought up a bunch of them and then rechambered them into 30-06 and put the Mauser action on them. That's like the one that I have. And literally, like, Tim, when he saw it, he's like, dude, that's like that Car 98 on Call of Duty. And I was like,
oh my God, dude.
It's like, it kind of looks like it.
I'm super appreciative that my dad, my dad is the reason why I am a big gun fanatic and like as responsible gun owner as I am. Because my dad, from the time that I could walk, I have pictures of me when I was just a little kid. Like, I still have Pampers on, and my dad's like making me hold an SKS. He's making me hold a 30-06. Like, he took me out hunting, and he taught me to respect firearms. And I never once thought about like any of these kids nowadays that are mentally just unhinged, doing these insanely, just insane, like, unethical things to human beings, and never even thought about it. And I talk to my dad about it all the time. I'm like, Dad, like seriously, thank you for raising me and teaching me to respect firearms. He's like, it was pretty easy. I started you off young, and that's where I'm like, you got to start these kids off young. You got to do it young. And like, I saw you the other day, Jordan, like taking Jace to the range. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Starting them off young. Get them involved in the industry. Show them that, hey, this is a tool. This is very dangerous, but however, it's a fun tool. And it's something that our founding fathers gave to us. And we need to exercise that right every single day and not let no compromise, nothing. Like, respect it. Don't flaunt it.
Jace is 9. He shot a 410, a 20 gauge, my AR, my pistol, and a 22. So he's covered damn near every aspect other than shoot a bow. You know what I mean?
We'll get him on the grenade launcher next week.
Get him an AT4.
Yeah. All right, son, hold tight. This sucker's got some kick.
He's gonna take you with her.
We could just put the Cheeto Puffs in there.
Yeah. All right.
Y'all remember those?
Yeah, the Cheetah Puffs, the non-lethal
Cheeto
rounds. We
Yeah,
shot
dude,
non-lethal rounds, dude. Those things were fun.
Those were cool shit, bro.
It's literally like adult Nerf wars, dude. Like,
Do you know?
I remember
do you know
the
what I
rubber
think
targets.
Do you know what I think is the craziest thing? Like, as like a young adult, right? The craziest thing we did in the Marine Corps was they handed us a fucking grenade.
Yeah.
With an instructor in the freaking thing with us.
Bro,
dude, that is like, think about the concept of that. Like, you have a device that could just blow both of you to smithereens. And they're like, yeah, you got to learn how to throw this thing, bro.
Bro, let me tell you, the day that I heard that we're throwing the M67
I was scared,
grenade,
bro.
I was not. I was dude, I was like sweating with excitement. I got up there and my instructor's like, he's like, are you ready? I was like, dude, I was fucking waiting for this since I was like 7, dude. I am ready to do this. Like, I am ready to throw this grenade. And he's like, all right, dude, like, hold on to that thing tight. And I'm not gonna lie, when you pull that, like, you sweep, pull, twist, pull, and then you're sitting there and the only thing that is keeping that thing from going off is you letting go. I was a little scared. But when I threw it and then we ducked down and also it was like like that, and I'm thinking like the movies, like there's gonna be a fireball or something, and I look over and there's just a dust cloud. I'm like, that wasn't as cool as I thought it was, but at least I threw a grenade. And I went back to the bleachers to hang out and waited for everybody else to go through, and by the end they were like, hey, we got like 30 hand grenades left. We're not taking this back to the armory, like whatever, we're not taking this back to the ammo depot. Who wants to throw another one? Dude, I couldn't tell you how I couldn't run any faster.
Can I throw 5 at once?
I was just like, yeah, can I throw 2 at once? Let's go. You pull the pins for me. Like, I was, dude, I was so jacked.
Just think about the concept of that, man. Like, I was, I think 18 when I did that, maybe 19. Can you imagine, like, being that instructor? Like, dude, is this guy gonna kill both of us? Is he gonna throw it over the wall?
Dude, yeah, man. Could you imagine just standing there and pulling that pin and just be like, we're both going today, buddy. And just fucking drop that stuff.
Psych. Alley-oop it.
He tries to jump out. You grab him by his blouse, pull him back in. You're going with me, boy.
Oh my god, dude! Some straight Gomer Pyle shit right there.
Oh my lord!
Oh my god!
That's like some Anthony.
We're all
Hopkins
going,
stuff,
brother.
Man. We're going for a ride today, boy.
Oh my god, dude! That's funny. We're both going, bro.
Yeah, you ready? he just looks at you like, ready for what?
Oops. Hey, you called your mom today?
Yeah.
You might want to.
She's asking, you ever been kicked off a range before? He's like, no. We're about to go right now.
Dude, we had some guys that I shit you not. I'm sitting there with excitement. Like I'm like, I've got my grenade pouches in and that's where they told you to put it while you're waiting. So I'm like sitting there like antsy, like, dude, I'm about to throw a grenade, like this is happening. And then I look behind me and the kid behind me is like sitting there shaking. I'm like, what's your problem? And he's like, dude, this is scary, man. Like this thing could literally kill us. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like, this is badass. Like, how many times you get to do this? You get to throw a grenade on the government's expense. Like, this is awesome. And I remember, like, even when they were, like, practicing, they're like, all right, check it out, man. And they pulled over the other instructor, like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to come in here. You're going to yell out a ditty. You're going to do, like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger up there, and you're going to throw the grenade, all right? But if you, like, drop it, this is what's going to happen. And he just drop kicks that guy out of the pit and jumps on top of him. He's like, that's what we'll likely do. And I'm sitting there looking like, okay, that's still an open concrete area. Like, somebody's going to die. Like, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, like, when you bring that up, I didn't even think about that until now. Like, 19 years old, you're like, hey, here you go, kid.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? That shit's wild.
Just,
That's a crazy concept.
I mean,
hey, so my brother was in Iraq and he told me what shrapnel is. I'm trying to find out, dude.
Yo, will you pick me up if I fall down? You know, like Warzone, dude. Like if I scoot over you.
If I scoot over, y'all got self-revive ready?
Got that stim pad on you, homie, or what?
Hey,
Dude,
if I die, do I go to
imagine?
the gulag if I die, or how does this work?
Yeah. Like I'm trying to get out of training, homie. Oh my god, dude. Or it's the same thing. Like even when we got in, and like we like some guys got M16s. You know, your NCOs and your officers got M4s. But then there's me. You know, 19-year-old Cale Schiller, and I all of a sudden they're just like, "Here, son, here's an M249 saw. You're a machine gunner," and I'm like, "All right, I've only shot this thing once, so if we go to war tomorrow, things are gonna get interesting."
Can I get a crash course real quick?
Yeah. Wait, how do you load this damn thing again? Like, okay, there's the buttons to open up the tray. Like, okay.
Wait,
Like,
who's carrying all my ammo?
Yeah, wait. Hey man, this thing's heavy. Like, you got a sling for this thing or what?
Oh man.
Dude, I'm thinking about that now, dude. That's so wild when you think about like the responsibility that they put on your back as like an 18 or 19. Like, dude, there was times that you had enough rounds, bro, that you could have just turned around and let that sucker eat, dog. You know, you could just
Oh yeah.
you know, and it's just like, but they just know, like they know that you've been beat into your head that like these are
We
good
ain't
guys.
doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that, you know. And so it's like, man, could you imagine some of this psycho ass dudes that go through that nowadays, man? I could only imagine what it's like. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like if the military can entrust an sometimes 17, bro.
yeah,
An 18-year-old kid. Right?
Yeah.
Why can't the freaking government entrust
that's what I'm
in
saying.
us to have them as
Abolish
ourselves?
the ATF. Let's get our belt feds back. I'm all about it, homie.
Schiller just wants to legally own an AT4.
Dude.
It's some frag grenades.
The reason I never got to shoot an AT4, and I can tell you, I came close. We were at Mojave Viper, and we were on that trail where we were shooting out the back of a 7-ton. And I was so excited because I was hand selected to shoot the AT4 at the end. Bro, I was with Sutton, Jacobs, and some other person because they picked the boot guys. They're like, hey, the boot guys haven't shot AT4s. Like, get them on. And I'm like, absolutely, let's do this, guys. Like, hands in, let's go. And they came up to us, and the range master, they handed us 200 round belts for our saws. So like, obviously we're taking moto pics and we're like, what's up, bro? Like, fuck with me. Like, and then like I went up to go get debriefed on the AT4 and they're like, no, Echo Battery's not shooting. Or I was with Golf at the time. They're like, Golf Battery, you're not shooting the AT4. Echo Battery's going to. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't get to shoot an AT4. And they're like, no, go back to your Vic. And I'm like, okay.
Get lost.
And so I went back, like head hanging low. And I'm like, well, at least I got a 200 round belt I'm about to unleash on this mountain. And then we came up and they're like, yo, when's the last time you shot that saw and sighted in that RCO? And I'm like, dude, I was handed this to me on day one from the armory. So I'm hoping the guy before me sighted this thing because I have no idea. And the rest of us saw gunners. There's 3 saw gunners in the back of this truck with one guy that has an M16, and they're like, "Yeah, no, I'm disqualifying you guys from this range." So we had to have our belts around our neck on this convoy, and one guy with an M16 that was allowed live rounds, and he's sitting out actually shooting, and we're like, guns out the back like this, and we're half-ass training. We're like, pew pew pew, pew pew pew. We're like, dude, I've never been so angry in my life at the Marine Corps. I'm like, that was the biggest tease ever. Don't get to shoot an AT4. Don't get to unleash a 200 round belt, dude. Done. I was like,
actually, I think Jeff, you were in my Vic when we did that, and you shot the AT4 when we went to. Damn, where did we go? What's the
Were you in that?
What'd you say?
I did shoot one, but I don't remember who was there.
Yeah, I was a turret gunner.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, Kale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. It looks cool.
Yeah, no, it was
honestly,
you.
Yeah, I don't remember who was there, man, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was me, you, Martin. Martin was my ammo bitch. And then I don't remember who was driving our Vic, but it was us three in an MRAP. And you had the AT4 in our truck. And you, like, as soon as we got to where we were going, I was shooting like over your head. Well, not really over your head because you were like behind the Vic to the right of me, facing that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you were shooting the AT4, and you know how the instructor like stands next to you and like holds the back of you. Yeah. So y'all were like right over here, and I was shooting down range, and I got to watch the whole thing go down. And Martin was like peeking out the window of the.
Dude, I've lost like all that. I remember shooting one. I just don't remember. I don't remember the intricate details, man.
Yeah. What was it was Steel Knight.
Yeah, and Steel Knight was the other one.
Yeah.
I heard about.
Dude, Steel Knight was probably the coolest shoot I think we ever did.
Dude, when we did that FPF, when we had like Cobras coming in, shooting rockets, we had whatever F-16s were dropping. Dude, the sky was just white for like a minute straight. And
that was like, the night that I was that we got called cold. And so I went to go take a shit in front of the gun line. And they called us back hot, bro. I was mid shit. And all I hear is Sergeant Ayala, Owens, get the fuck over here. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Probably some, like, random bullshit that he needs me to do. And I hear gun one. I'm like, oh, fuck. I took off sprinting.
Bro. God, I will never forget, because that was the first time I've ever heard FPF. And they were like, hey, fire mission. We're like, fire mission. It's like late at night. We're just ready to bivouac and go to sleep, dude. And all of a sudden we just hear FPF. And we're all of a sudden, dude, I can't remember who my chief was. I think it was Sergeant Harshman or somebody. But they turned around. They're like, start fucking dropping rounds off the damn truck right now. And we're like, what? We can only have 10 on the ground at a time. He's like, get them on the ground. I don't care. So we're literally throwing the M107s onto the ground. And we're like, well, that's what he said. We couldn't even like get the eyelets off fast enough to reload with the fuses. We're like, I don't know if that's tight, but load it. Like, dude, it was wild, dude.
Hand tight, we're good, bro.
Hand tight. Like, oh my God, dude. Yeah, the sky was just white, dude. We were like, you saw wrap rounds are getting shot, dude. It was just like, bro, this was so epic. And all of a sudden, it was just like, all right, it's like, end of mission. And we're like, all right, sweet. And all of a sudden, the white sky just went back to dark. They're like, all right, gents, bivouac status.
Yeah, clean up your shit.
Yeah. Oh, and pick up all those rounds that you guys dropped on the ground.
Yeah.
You were fast enough to shoot. Pick them all up.
Pick up all the powder canisters. Pick up all the sleeves. It's like, and then don't forget, at the end of the night, clean your breeches.
Yeah, oh God, I hated that. Hey, did y'all ever get to shoot XCal?
No, I didn't.
Jeff, did you in Afghanistan?
Shoot the XCal? No.
We just shoot. I don't think we just ever got to shoot XCal.
Shot a bunch of Illum rounds.
Yeah, I remember there was a bunch of Illum.
One HE mission.
I think y'all shot the HE whenever was the OP Mohafis out there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. I think we were at Mohafis whenever y'all shot HE, because I remember
Ayala
Sergeant Custer.
Redding or Custer. One of those.
Yeah, because I was with Custer, and he was like really pissed off that they were shooting HE and we were not over there to see it. I remember that.
Dude, we sat on that gun for like 3 hours, man. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, so like they'd call a fire mission over a walkie-talkie, right? Same way that they do it in the field op. But you're like in the rack, man. So like you're all like hyped, dude. So you're running out there skivvy shorts and a freaking flak on, just with your boots, just out to the gun, bombing, right? And you get out there, and then you sit, and you just like get the gun going, get on your right deflection, azimuth, whatever, and boom, 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 all set. And you sit there for like I don't know if it was 3. It's like 2 or 3 hours. We just sat there. I think we were sitting out there for so long that we like fell asleep on the gun, man. Like just sat there, just like, oh, dude, what are we doing? And they were waiting because it was an HE round, right? And so they're like, oh, you gotta, like, we have to get clearance to shoot that, you know?
Yeah.
And so they had to send it way up, man, like way up and way out, probably somewhere that was sleeping in a nice mattress, you know, to say, okay. And, yeah, man, we waited so long, and they pretty much told them, like, because they're like, oh, what's your options? Can you guys take the round out? And they're like, pretty much, no. Like, there's only one way. This round's going out. Like, we're not punching this dude.
Yeah, we got to shoot it.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh, yeah, clear shoot. And then they woke us up for a minute. We shot the round, and then back to the hooch we went, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you talk about Jordan like being in front of the gun line when you went to go take a shit. Like I didn't have any of that, but I did have one night. We did a static shoot, a stage shoot for that. Oh, I can't remember what they call those shoots, like FTXs or whatever in 29, where you just in place once and you stay there all week. And I went with Kilo battery. TACP, there we go. And I went with Kilo battery, and I was with Sergeant Harshman and a couple people that they pieced together from Echo. And we sat on the gun, and it was late, dude. It was like 2 a.m. We were still in hot status, and we're all falling asleep in our flaks, like on the ground. So we just said, screw it. Like, we're done. Like, this fire mission's never coming. They forgot about us. They fell asleep or something. So some guys went out, started smoking, and they fell asleep around some sagebrush. I fell asleep in the back of the ammo truck because I was the ammo guy up top. And all of a sudden, I fell asleep, and I wake up to Sergeant Harshman just yelling, "Where the fuck is my goddamn gun?" And we're like, huh? And we wake up, and there's like, fire mission, let's go. And I'm like, oh, shit. And like, people are coming out of the bushes. And they're like, what? They're like running. Kevlar's like not even strapped. It's like jumping around their head. And they're like, what's going on? They're like, fire mission. And they're like, I'm pulling out canisters. I'm like, nope, those are hotels. I need a Lima. Like, oh shit. And all of a sudden we shot one round, and we're like, all right. And we're like all excited. And then they're like, all right, gun line's cold. We're like looking at our timepieces. We're like, it's 3:00 in the morning. Are you kidding me right now? We waited that long for one round.
Yeah.
And then literally when we went cold status, obviously we still have to do Firewatch. So they're like, hey, Schiller, you got Firewatch from 03 to 04. I'm like, I get 1 hour. I get 1 hour of sleep tonight. And they're like, I don't
want to sleep anyways.
They're like, you were sleeping in the back of the ammo truck. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, I don't miss that at all, dude. Like, at all.
Dude, I remember, like, somehow Jeff and I were always on the same fucking gun, like, no matter what. And I was always number 2, and Jeff was always the gunner. And so him and I were always, like racked out up against the gun right there, dude. And I just remember so many times just, like, either I had to wake Jeff up or he had to wake me up. And I was just like, dude, this is fucking deja vu every fucking time we go to the field.
Dude, it was rack ops. Every field op was rack ops, dude. Like, it was not even.
Oh yeah.
I knew I was taking naps, bro. Like, because it used to be when I first got in, it was like hip pocket classes, digging fighting holes, and digging like legit. Like, dude, we would dig fighting holes, bro. That like we would hang out and smoke in. You know, like they were legit fight, and they made us slave over these things. To like. When I got out, man, it was like you'd go and place the gun and dig like a little 4-inch hole right next to it. And like, all right, there it is, cool. Leave it out there like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's all it was, man.
I got deflated right here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my grenade hole.
Yeah, and so you just stop, or like we stopped digging. I don't know why we just stopped digging fighting holes, And well, they told us to stop on Pendleton. I remember that. You just went and threw the gun out there.
Yeah.
And I think that they got to the point where there was like the same thing on 29 Palms. They were like, yeah, dude, stop digging freaking 4-foot holes, trenches out here, because dude,
somebody's gonna trip and fall.
We would kit those suckers out, man. Like me and
build
Dan,
you a little seat.
Dude, my first field op, me and Dan were the two boots on the gun. And oh my dude, they made us dig a fortress, dude. Like, and like little Dan, he's like this little Vietnamese tunnel rat down there, like just chipping away, dude. And and they would only let one of us go in the hole at a time, right? They'd be like, oh yeah, no, only one. But they wanted to see like the other boot like hungry to get in there. So I'm just like I'm like salivating over Dan, right? I'm like, oh, let me in there, bud, and then he gives me the show. I get in there and start digging. And then once it's through all the hard stuff, right, and you're down in the soft sand, then they're like, I'll take it from here, And you're like, oh, I bet you will, man. But like,
you hate that, bud?
Yeah, dude, we built like benches in that thing, man. Like stairs down to the benches. Like it was, dude. Legit. Those were the times. It's like, after you clean the gun or whatever, it's like, dude, you'd go like the whole gun would go sit out in the fighting hole, man, and smoke cigs, just talk crap, Yeah, dude, that was so cool, man. I remember that because it was like, me and Dan were the young guys on the gun, and everybody else had been on a deployment together or whatever, and so they were all like close, and we were the new guys, and they just, man, even though you were new, they still made you, feel like you were family or whatever, and then they would treat you like shit. And in the daytime, you were a pig, like,
yeah.
Once the sun went down, I like everything Firewatch with this guy named Trottier, and he was only in like my first field op, man, and I like Firewatch with him, man, and we were just talking. I don't remember what we were talking about. We were pretty cool, I felt like we were pretty cool, and then like the next morning, he's just up my ass, dude. Like he's just throwing me under the bus. All the crap I said the night before on Firewatch, man, dude. I just looked at that guy. I was like, "Screw you, man!" Like I was like, "All right, the Marine Corps." I told
you that shit in confidence.
Yeah, the Marine Corps is dirty, man. Like, I got messed up for that stuff, man. Like that was bad. Good times.
Man. Always good times. Well, boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
About wrap it up right there.
It's always good to leave it on.
Yeah. Chiller, you got some knowledge or what?
I heard something the other day. Prepared. Yeah, I heard something the other day. Wear your rubbers even if it's not raining out.
Wait, what?
Wear your rubbers even if it's not raining out. Actually, I got another one too that I go by. There's two things I don't fuck with: rattlesnakes and condoms.
Okay.
I can get behind that.
Jack, tell me you got something else, please.
I do.
Oh.
Do you like the curtains?
Yeah, I did. I did. Let's close them.
All right. Man, even when you don't think you need one, carry a gun, man. There was literally a parade. They call it the Lilac Parade in Spokane every year, man. And there was dude, it's like a place people take their families, and there was like a shooting down there, And it's just like, it shows you, man, the world's crazy, dude. Buy a gun if you don't got one. Carry it if you do got one. Don't be scared.
Get some training.
Train. Shoot as much as you can. Get reps. Just what does Shipley say? 1% better every day.
That's right. All right, Jordan, hit it with your knowledge.
I got nothing. I was relying on one of y'all to say something. Oh man.
Well, you probably got
Oh
one.
no, hey, I will say, to just piggyback off Shipley, dude. He always says, "Be a pro, man." At
Yeah.
everything you do.
Mm,
You don't have to
matter
be
what
an
it is,
operator to
man.
be a pro.
Yeah.
mhm. Very good.
Be a
Do
pro
better.
of your own craft. All right, boys. It's
All
been
right.
fun. It's been real. God bless.
Till next time.
Merry Christmas.